start, huh?
No, I'm at your disposal.
Thank you, my friend.
We are live now.
All right.
Okay.
Can we wait? A little bit, yeah, please, until we have some viewers.
Sure. Just tell me when to go, and I'll start. So, how's Ramadan with you, Emmanuel?
I'm okay. I'm adapting. You know, they say when you're in Rome, you behave like Romans.
Exactly.
So I'm in Egypt, and it's period of Ramadan, so I have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
Although it's not new to me.
Yeah. Well, I hope everything is safe on your side, and you know, we get through these rough times that we're going through very soon. You know, and we get our football back.
We can start now, dear.
That's the prayer of everybody.
Okay, let's go. Okay, everybody. Good evening. I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us tonight. I'm sorry we're about 9 minutes late. We had some technical problems, but everything is perfect right now. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name's Dia Salah, and I'll be hosting one of the African legends. We're not going to say who. We're going to make it a surprise, as if, in a minute. But I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Korastats, for the amazing efforts you've been doing over the last 2-3 years in the education sector.
مساء الخير على الجميع. احب نرحب بيكم جميعا معانا النهارده في كورستاتس تي في، ونعتذر على التاخير. عندنا حوالي 8 دقائق تاخير. بنعتذر لوجود بعض المشاكل الفنيه الخارجه عن السيطره. احنا مع بعض خلاص، وانا سعيد جدا بكل الناس اللي معانا. انا اسمي ضياء صلاح. يا رب اكون ضيف خفيف على قلوبكم النهارده. والنهارده معانا ضيف من عيار خاص جدا، يعني هنعمل كأننا مش عارفينه ولسه ما قدمناهوش. في دقيقة هنتكلم ونعرف تفاصيل أكتر.
Okay, so when I say legend, I mean somebody who played at the top tier of football, both in Europe and in Africa. He played for Barcelona, played for Zamalek, gold medal winner, African Cup Nations winner, African top football player of the year. What can I say? That is the true definition of the word legend. And I want to welcome Emmanuel Amoniki. Nice to meet you, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much, Captain. It's a pleasure. I remember the last time we met was in the AFCON. And it's a pleasure seeing you again, and you know, I'm pleased to be in this program. Thank you very much.
لما نقول أسطورة أفريقية فاحنا بنتكلم بجد على شخصية من النادر أن تتكرر. احنا بنتكلم على لاعب حصل على أحسن لاعب في أفريقيا، لاعب حصل على ميدالية أولمبية، لاعب على أعلى مستويات الدوريات العالمية. مستر إيمانويل أمونيكي، اسمح لنا نرحب بيه. الحقيقه مستر ايمانويل بيرد وبيقول انا سعيد جدا بوجودي معاكم النهارده، وانا اتقابلت انا وانت ضياء اخر مره كان في بطوله افريقيا اللي اقيمت في القاهره العام الماضي، وسعيد جدا بتواجدي معاكم.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for the intro. I mean, that was just a little bit about you on the playing side, but on the coaching side as well. You've done an amazing job. Right after you retired from your playing part, you coached a couple of teams in Nigeria. You won the World Cup with the under 17, sorry, in 2015. And then after that, you were able to make Tanzania national team to advance to the AFCON for the first time in 38 years.
Well, we are grateful to the opportunity. And we thank God for giving us the grace and the opportunity to do what we love doing, which is football. We've been attached to football since we were kids. From primary school, we started playing to the secondary school. We are opportune to be discovered by some club, and from there I was able to make it to the national team under 23, and eventually I was, spotted by Zamalek, and from there I have a bigger door and bigger opportunity. Yeah, of course, we are grateful that during our time we achieved a lot of things. And then into coaching, what else can we say? Coaching is adventure, you don't know what might be the outcome of the coaching, but the most important thing is for you to be, prepared, for you to be open, for you to have the privilege to see where you can learn. I could remember when I stopped playing, because my last game playing was in Jordan. And after that, I went back. That was 2004. I went back to Spain. What came into my mind is, what next? What can I do? Can I coach? Because normally that's the closest most of us that play the game
Yes.
Can involve ourselves into. But the question is, I was asking myself, do I have the temperament to be a coach? What process will lead me to be a coach? And eventually, I was able to prepare myself through Spanish Football Federation, where courses are being given for those that wants to be a coach from level 1 to level 3, which is the highest level. I could have also, gone to Nigeria to start coaching using my name as ex-international, which would have given me a good platform. But of course, I decided no, because I know being a coach, you have to be in a position, to give your players what they need. You have to be in a position when the player, asks for question, you provide it for him. And I think, I'm grateful that I have been able to achieve some few things. But I'm still learning. I always said one thing.
Okay.
I'm learning as a coach, and I hope I can continue to improve as a coach.
Thank you.
مستر أمونيكي، كاريرك كلاعب طبعا لا يخفى علينا جميعا. المستويات الكبيره اللي حضرتك لعبت فيها، احنا حابين اكتر حضرتك تكلمنا عن مسيرتك المهنيه كمدرب بدات ازاي، وايه اللي خلاك تفكر في التوجه للتدريب. حقيقه مستر أمونيكي رد على النقطه ديت، بيقول انا ممتن جدا للمنحه اللي ربنا منحاني ان انا اكمل العمل في الحاجه اللي انا بحبها، كره القدم. انا بدات العب وانا في المدرسه الابتدائيه ومدرسه الاعداديه، وكان ليا فرصه جميله ان يتم اكتشافي من بعض الانديه في نيجيريا والعب فيهم، وفي سن 23 سنه العب لمنتخب نيجيريا، وبعد كده يتم ضمي من خلال فريق الزمالك. كابتن أمونيكي بيقول التدريب مغامره، المهم ان انت تكون جاهز وان انت تفضل تتعلم. هو انهى مسيرته الكرويه في الاردن سنه 2004، وبعدها رجع لاسبانيا وبدا يفكر انا فعلا اقدر ادخل مجال التدريب ولا لا. ده سؤال مهم بدا يساله لنفسه، وبدا يجهز نفسه، وبدا مع الاتحاد الاسباني يحصل على الشهادات التدريبيه بتاعته، حتى وصل للدرجه للشهاده او الشهاده من المستوى الاول، شهاده في التدريب من المستوى الاول.
Great info, great start, Emmanuel. But you said two important words. You mentioned passion and challenge. And this is something very, very important that will lead you into success into the coaching field. Now, I know that you played under very, very big top coaches. What made you take that decision? Because today we have a lot of international players, local players. After they finish their playing careers, they don't really know if they're going to go into coaching, are they going to move into media, do their own business? But I mean, who influenced you, and how did you feel that you wanted to go into that coaching business?
Well, I think I have really loved football, and even when I was a player, I have so much love, and I was so passionate in what I do. I remember when I was a kid, I used to on my own, because my father also, he played football. Unfortunately, he didn't, play to the level. And during their time, football, footballers is being considered as people that are just wasting their time. So when I started playing, my father, he was against it. He never wanted me to play because he wanted me to involve more on my schooling and all these things. But I was, I was interested, I was passionate, I was a little bit like a rebel, I can take a bus, for example. I can take a bus. I can go to like Alexandria, from Cairo to Alexandria. Without being invited, I will present myself in the team. I will tell the coach, give me opportunity. You know, I was open to, you know, make a statement for myself. And yeah, as a coach, for example, you must be clear in what you want to do. It's not just about coaching. A lot of people, of course, when you look at the money aspect, everybody wants to coach. But the most important thing is you must have passion, because there is no direct link, there is no guarantee that you're going to be successful in your coaching, or you're not going to be successful. But of course, if you are passionate about the game and you try to prepare yourself from the educational aspect of the coaching to understand the rules that will guide you, at least to be in a position, you know, to be able to transmit the ideas and your philosophy to your players.
Yes.
At least this will bring, you know, like kind of resolving half of your problem.
Yes.
And this is exactly what I did.
Yes, we will go into that part in a minute.
الحقيقه ضياء سال مستر أمونيكي، قال له كتير من لعيبه الكوره لما بتنتهي مسيرتهم التدريبيه، في منهم بيتوجه للميديا، في منهم بيتوجه للاعمال الخاصه، لكن حضرتك اخترت التدريب. طبعا حضرتك اتدربت مع مدربين كبار جدا في مسيرتك المهنيه، خاصه في برشلونه، بس ايه الدافع او ايه الحافز الاكتر اللي خلاك تتوجه الى مجال التدريب؟ الرد بتاع كابتن أمونيكي قال لك انا بحب كرة القدم لدرجة كبيرة جدا. والدي لعب كورة بس ما لعبش على مستويات عالية، والحقيقة هو كان حريص اكتر على ان انا اهتم بدراستي، وكان مش مشجع موضوع لعب الكورة، لكن الحقيقة انا كنت عندي شغف كبير جدا بكرة القدم، وما كانش عندي مشكلة ان انا اسافر مسافة زي من القاهرة لاسكندرية علشان احضر اختبار، او ان انا اطلب من مدرب انه يتفرج عليا ويديني فرصه في فرقته عشان يشوفني. الشغف ده والحب للكوره هو اللي مخليني مش قادر اسيب الملعب، وهو اللي مخليني عايز اكمل، وهو اللي مخليني حريص ان انا افضل اتعلم وافضل اطور نفسي، ودي حاجه عقيده راسخه جوايا، وهي اللي مخلياني اكمل في مسيرتي التدريبيه.
Very good. Coaching. Now, I know we have a lot of people, a lot of viewers today are very, very interested in the coaching part, and they would love to hear some of your experiences. Emmanuel, coaching today is a philosophy. It's about dealing with players today, not only on the pitch, but no, they have to have that skill to work with the players off the pitch as well. So what is your philosophy in coaching? And were you influenced by somebody to have this philosophy, or was it just something that came from inside of you and you started practicing it with your players?
Well, as a coach, you must have clear ideas what you want to do as a coach. You must recognize the ethics of coaching. You know, in coaching. When you are a coach, everybody look onto you, everybody respect you, but you as a coach, you know, you must have a serious philosophy, like you have mentioned, not only on the system of the team, how you want your players to function on the field and off the field, but as a person, you must be in a position to know what your team need, what you need as a coach. And I think it's very, very important in modern days, you know. Coaching is not just about assembling people. The era of just coaching only the players has come and gone, you know. What you do now is you manage everybody around you. You try to manage the whole circumstances. You're managing your surrounding. You are managing the players. You are managing your backroom staffs. You are managing the environment that you find yourself. You are trying to see how everybody can, you know, come up with an ideas to achieve the objective that is being set. I give you an example. When we came to Nigeria to coach the under-17, we knew that in Nigeria we don't have league for the youth team. And over the years, you know, the national team, they've been bringing players from the first division to play in the national team under-17. So what we did actually was, we had a discussion with the president, and we told him there is no way we can continue to, trade on this path. So let us give all the academies opportunity to bring their players and come for trial. Let players without contact that does not have anything to do in terms of the academy they belong. Even if you're a good player, you can come on your own. Let's give everybody the opportunity. This is how we started. Yeah, it takes time. It's a long process because you have to, sometimes you spend the whole day on the training pitch looking at players. A day you might even have 2,000 players coming to the screening, and you have to find a way to give everybody equal opportunity, bearing it in mind that you are dealing with a youth and you are dealing with underage. And at that category, there is no discrimination. There is no way you are telling a player, no, you cannot play. You must give everybody equal opportunity, even if the player cannot meet up to the criteria that you people have set on ground. So it's a kind of, knowing what you want, knowing how you want to manage your players. Then when you come to the part of your philosophy, what kind of football do you want to play? How do you want your team to look? Because in football, you have two key moments, which is when you have the ball and when you don't have the ball. When your team have the ball, how are they playing to be able to achieve the objective, which is getting to the goalpost of an opponent and scoring? And when they lose the ball, how are they reacting to prevent the opponent to not to attack, to be well organized, not to be surprised in times of losing shape? So all these things, you must have it very clear. And then you have to look at the players that can fit into this system of playing. Sometimes people say we are playing 4-4-2, we are playing 5-5-2. It doesn't matter the system. What matters is how can you be able to prepare your players to be able to function in the system, whichever system you want to play, if it is 4-2-3-1, if it is 3-5-2. So it all depends on the characteristics of players that you possess. And then you have to come up with a plan. Like we said, when you have a dream, but if you have a dream and the dreams, you don't have plans to support it, it's just an illusion. So you have to come up with a plan where these players can fit into the individual ability to the philosophy and also collectively. And I think this is what makes a team more better and more good to perform. Like in Barcelona, there is a saying we used to say, how can we function as a team without undermining the individual qualities? Which means, how can everybody in a team function to achieve our objectives? Still, the best players in the team, like Messi, like Iniesta, like Ronaldo, people can still see that they are special, that these players, they have special talent. I think this is what football is all about. I know every coach is, and in football, it's totally different. Everybody have his own philosophy. Everybody has his own way of doing things, and all is being accepted in football. But in my own philosophy, I like my players to be responsible when we have the ball, when we don't have the ball. I like my players to be involved in all what we are doing. And in today's football, we the coaches, we are privileged because we've been privileged now to have companies that can provide you a lot of information. For example, Cora Stats. For me, I'm pleased to come in contact with them because I could say my qualification in Tanzania, they made it much easier for me because I was in
Sorry, Emmanuel, we'll get into that. We just want to give a little bit of time for the translation for the viewers, and then we'll come back to you in a minute.
ضياء سأل كابتن إيمانويل، قال له ناس كتير من المتابعين لنا النهارده حابين يتكلموا عن التدريب، حابين يعرفوا توجهك للتدريب ورحلتك التدريبية بدأت ازاي ومشيت ازاي، فلسفتك في التدريب. وطبعا ما يخفاش علينا كلنا ان واحد من اهم الجوانب بصفتك لعيب كبير هو التعامل مع اللعيبه، فلسفتك في التدريب وطريقتك اللي انت بتعتمد عليها في التعامل مع اللاعبين، ممكن تكلمنا عنها شويه؟ كابتن إيمانويل بيقول المدرب هو عباره عن مجموعه من الافكار، كل الناس بتبص لك وبتحترمك، لازم انت تركز كمدرب انت محتاج ايه، لعيبتك محتاجين منك ايه، وازاي تقدر توصل بيهم للنتيجه اللي انت محتاج تحققها. انت مش بس بتدرب فريق، انت بتدير ناس، بتدير غرفه الملابس، بتتعامل مع الادارات اللي اعلى منك، بتتعامل مع المشاكل اللي بتقابل لعيبتك، تفاصيل كتير انت بتتعامل معاها. خليني اديك مثال. مثلا لما بدات امرن منتخب نيجيريا، ابقى المسؤول فنيا عن منتخب نيجيريا تحت 17 سنه، وكنا بنجهز ان احنا نشارك في كاس العالم. الحقيقه ما كانش عندنا في نيجيريا في دوري للفئه السنيه ديت، وطبعا ده ادى ان ما كانش في آلية محدده ونظاميه علشان نختار بيها اللاعبين، وده كان عامل لي مشكله، لان انا فعلا كنت عايز انقي احسن لاعبين موجودين في نيجيريا علشان نقدر نعمل كويس في المنافسه بتاعه كاس العالم. اتكلمت مع رئيس الاتحاد وقلت له عايزين نفتح الباب امام لاعبين الاكاديميات ان هم يجوا يختبروا علشان نختار منهم لاعيبه المنتخب. فطبعا ده تحدي من التحديات اللي انا بقول لك عليها، ان عندك بيجي لك مثلا اكتر من 2000 لاعب، وانت لازم ما تسيبش اي فرصه للعنصريه، ما تسيبش اي فرصه للواسطه، وتدي فرصه حقيقيه لكل لاعب ان هو يظهر مهارته، وتوصل للناس كلها ان انت فعلا عايز تختار اللاعبين الاكفأ واللاعبين الاحق بالفرصه دي. لما نيجي نتكلم عن الجزء الخاص بالفلسفه، انت كمدرب محتاج تفكر ايه الشكل اللي انت عايز فرقتك تبان بيه، شكلنا كفريق واحنا معانا الكوره، شكلنا كفريق لما نخسر الكوره ازاي، لما تحصل مواقف غير متوقعه في الملعب الفريق يحافظ على تماسكه ويحافظ على شكله ويحافظ على سيستم اللعب بتاعه. مش مهم التشكيل، شكل طريقه اللعب اللي انت هتلعب بيها 4-3-3 4-4-2، ايا كانت طريقه اللعب دي تفصيله. المهم ان لاعيبتك يشاركوك الرؤيه الفنيه، وان انت تخليهم معاك حاضرين في كل التفاصيل. وانا شايف ان دي واحده من اكتر الميزات اللي كانت بتميز الجيل الذهبي لبرشلونه. اللعيبه كانت فعلا بتشارك المدير الفني في احلامه وفي التفاصيل الفنيه اللي هو طالبها منهم.
I mean, you did your philosophy, you won the World Cup, and now you're ranked one of the top coaches in this section. I mean, everybody, of course, is going to remember your World Cup victory with the under 17. Like we said, Emmanuel, we both agreed that that coaches today, they have challenges mentally and tactically. Okay, we're going to talk about the tactical part in a bit. Today, of course, you know how the players are and how you have to have that communication skill that you as a coach, how to deal with these different type of players, which is a very, very, how can you say, difficult and challenging part of your job. I mean, what's the first thing you do, Emmanuel, when you approach working for, whether it's a club, a new team as a club, or a national team? What are the most important factors that you do here when you first start and take over the job?
Well, the first thing I do was, I have to assess the team. Of course, when you've been approached to come and coach a team, you have to assess the team. You have to know the objective of the team. You have to know what exactly do they want to, exactly do they want. You have to go back to previous, to look at their previous achievement. You have to look at the symbol of the club. Then from there, you can know actually which club or you are involving yourself into. And then what kind of players do they possess? Most of the players, how long have they been in the team? Are they new players? So what kind of formation do they play? What is their position? So all these things, when you go through it, and then it will afford you the possibility to know actually which club you are involving into. You mentioned something about the tactical aspect of the game, the relation aspect of the team. How do a coach relate with the player? I think in modern football now, there is something we call coaching. I have said it earlier. Coaching means you are managing everything around you. And we shouldn't forget that these players are human beings. You have 30 players, they are all human beings from different mother and different father with different characters. But the most important thing as a coach, these players, they must see you as somebody that is there to help them. You cannot make your players to lose confidence in you, regardless of the result. The result is totally different. But when we talk about players and coach relationship, Your players must have confidence in you. They must be, they must be in a position to approach you, to ask you questions. Because at the end of the day, they are looking for solution. They are looking for you to give them solution. So,
yes.
When you have this kind of relationship with your players, it's not, having relationship with your players does not make you to be a weak coach. Getting close to your players sometimes does not make you that you are not a tough person. No, you are managing your players. You have objective. What is the objective? Our target this season is we want to play in CAF Champions League. We want to play in CAF Confederations Cup. And for you to achieve those things, your players, they must have confidence in you. They must be ready, to approach you. And you as a coach, you must be ready to give them solutions. So from tactical point of view, we shouldn't forget that tactical is a behavior, it's a character. Like the definition, sometimes I used to tell my players, I say, when you talk about tactics are just an action, individually or collectively, from individual behaviors that a team possess to achieve their objectives. So your players must be, they must see you as somebody that is giving them solution. They must see you as somebody that is there to help them. But at the same time also, you must have the ideas very clear. The players, they must know the areas that they have to go. They must know things that they cannot do. They must know things that they can do. And today we are in a world that whatever you do immediately is all over the world. So I think that the players also, they are more educated. They are more, they are more aware of things that they can do. They are more aware that they have to act on a professional level. But of course, we coaches, you can never be 100% perfect. And you cannot say because a player, probably he's not listening to you, and then, you try to do away with him immediately. No, you have to, talk to him. You have to make him to see reason. It's only when he is not ready to, when he is not ready to listen to you, when he thinks he's above the team, because we should remember that no matter how good you are, nobody is above the team. The team wins together and the team loses together. If the team achieves success, we all achieve as a team. And when we lose also, we all lose as a team.
We all lose together. Yes. Definitely.
You must find a way where you can, dialogue with your players and have confidence. They should have confidence on you. I think this is the way I see it. But every coaches are different. People are different in their way of reacting. When I was playing, probably the coaches, they used to shout on us. Yeah, but in modern football now, you find a balance. For example, a typical example is Zidane. Zidane, everybody knows who is Zidane. The players in Real Madrid, they know who is Zidane. So what Zidane is doing is to manage the players to achieve the objective that is being set. And I'm happy, he's doing that and achieving that.
Absolutely.
طيب الحقيقة السؤال اللي كان ضياء بيسأله دلوقتي كان بيتكلم عن علاقة المدرب باللاعبين وعلاقة ودور المدرب في وضع التكتيك وإيصال مفهوم التكتيك ده أو طريقة تنفيذه للاعبين. وهنا كابتن أمونيكي بيقول لما نتكلم عن او لما بمسك فريق جديد، اول حاجه بشتغل عليها ان انا ببدا بتقييم اللاعبين، بحاول افهم كل واحد فيهم ايه اللي بيريحه، ايه اللي بيحبه وشايف نفسه ازاي. محتاج تتفرج على الفرقه قبل ما انت تمسكها كان شكلها عامل ازاي، محتاج تشوف لو الفرقه دي عندها قيم معينه او عندها فلسفه معينه او عندها مجموعه من الرموز، ايه هي كل القيم ديت علشان تقدر انت تحط او ترسم الشكل المناسب لعلاقتك باللاعبين. وانت انت الحقيقي دورك طول الوقت ان انت توجه وتدي حلول للاعبين اكتر من انك تلوم متعنف. انت مدير لازم يكون عندهم ثقه فيك، ولازم تعرف ان التكتيك هو عباره عن مجموعه من السلوكيات اللي بيتم ادائها في الملعب سواء على المستوى الفردي او على المستوى الجماعي. وبالتالي الحاجه اللي هتخلي اللعيبه تسمعك وتلتزم بالتوجيهات اللي انت بتقولها هو ثقتهم فيك وعلاقتك بيهم، ويكونوا دايما متاكدين ان انت عندك حل للمشاكل اللي هم بيقعوا فيه. والناحيه الثانيه او الحاجه المهمه الثانيه ان لازم كل لاعب يكون عنده اعلاء لقيمه فريق العمل. انت في الاخر لما بنكسب كلنا مع بعض، ولما بنخسر كلنا مع بعض. مفيش حد بيكسب لوحده ومفيش حد بيخسر لوحده. هو كمان مستر أمونيكي بيقول انا لما كنت بلعب في الوقت بتاعي زمان كان المدربين متعودين يقفوا على الخط ويوجهوا عن طريق الزعيق وعن طريق الصوت العالي، لكن في الكره الحديثه ده ما عادش ليه مكان. يعني عندك النهارده هو كان بيضرب مثال بزين الدين زيدان، بيقول كل الناس، كل لعيبه ريال مدريد عارفين مين زين الدين زيدان وعارفين تاريخ زين الدين زيدان، وبالتالي هم عندهم ثقه في زين الدين زيدان، وده اللي بيدي زيدان فرصه هايله جدا انه يقدر يدير الفرقه بتاعته بالشكل اللي هو عايزه، ويقدر يوصلهم للرؤيه الفنيه اللي هو عايز يخرج للفريق دي.
Yes, we 100% agree, of course, with you, Emmanuel. All of these challenges today, you were in charge of Tanzania national team, and after 38 years, you managed to be part of the AFCON that was in Egypt last year, and to qualify. During this period, I mean, how did you manage to work with your players? I mean, I know the road wasn't very easy. You had some rough times, you had some good times. I mean, and the players today, how were you able to manage these players, you know, to motivate them when they're down or when they're happy? Do you celebrate with them? I mean, during the qualification stages and your experience with them, how do you work with these players?
Well, I think when the opportunity came for me, you know, to coach Tanzania, what I actually did was, you know, I went back. I was privileged. I think it was during the World Cup in Russia. And one of the analysts I was in the technical study group, one of the analysts, he was able, you know, I asked him if it is possible for him to provide me previous matches, all the matches that Tanzania have played. Then I was lucky, he gave me the whole matches, previous qualification they have played, even the one they lost to Egypt, and I saw everything. So what I actually did when I was announced, of course, nobody believed that it's going to be me to coach Tanzania. And when we get there and people were confused, I said, probably, of course, we know Africans, we are expecting to see an European coach. But it's not an European coach, it's an African coach that is coming to coach our Tanzania. So who is this guy that is coming to coach our Tanzania? What can he do? But of course, I was so honest to the players, because I always said one thing to players, not only players, in life, you must be in a position at times to criticize yourself. Yep. Criticizing yourself does not mean that you are bad. Criticizing yourself does not mean that you don't have what it takes. Criticizing yourself from holistic point of view, probably maybe what you are doing, you have to criticize yourself. Are we doing enough? Do we have the capacity to improve? What can we do, you know, to overcome the stage that we have been, to move to next stage? I think that's exactly what I did. I was honest to the players. Probably, you know, this is the first time, because Tanzania, they have a system of, they have Simba and Yang. And from these two teams, they invite all their national team players. And most of these players, you know, they have been playing. They come to the national team, lose and win. They go back to their club. So there was less desire to achieve success. So, but when I came, I told them, you know, national team in Tanzania, we are 55 million. And there is no way we have 20 clubs playing in the Premier League. The national team are meant for the whole Tanzania. So for me, I'm interested. If I see players, wherever I see players that can help the cause, I will invite them. You know, a lot of people were not supportive. They were mostly the journalists. They were against it because half of the journalists, some of them are from Yang, some are from Tanzania, from Simba. So any player that comes from Simba and Yang, they are all happy. Whether they play good, they didn't play good, everybody is happy as long they are from Simba and Yang. So, you know, I changed that. Then I start having meeting with the players to show them their mistakes. I told them, don't be angry or don't feel offended if you are doing mistake or somebody laugh, because of course in such a scenario, You will see some players laughing at the other one because they make mistake. I say we are all here to criticize ourselves, but we are here to see how we can improve as a team. So we went and then we saw a lot of mistakes. We saw that when opponent have the ball, you find out that 5 people are looking on the ball. The player that is free run behind the players and receive the ball. Nobody is marking him. So we try to work on that. We try to correct our mistakes. We work on that with the players. So I start having individual lectures with the players and collective lecture, and then with the help of Chorastart, I can say, you know, it gave us a lot of insight. I think having the privilege to have worked with Chorastart, you know, it makes my job much easier in Tanzania.
Amazing.
I was able to present information after our game. Under 2-3 days, we have a feedback from our game. We will go back to review it, to look at our mistakes, to see if we are doing the same. Okay, all right.
Okay.
طيب ضياء كان بيقول لمستر أمونيكي احنا متفقين معاك طبعا في الافكار التدريبيه اللي انت بتقولها، بس خلينا ننتقل لملف تاني. انت كنت مسؤول عن منتخب تنزانيا في واحده من اهم التجارب، انا متهيألي بالنسبه لحضرتك وبالنسبه للمنتخب تنزانيا في الفتره الاخيره، لان المنتخب قدر يعمل انجاز غاب عنه لاكثر من 38 سنه، وهو الوصول لامم افريقيا، وده هدف انت قدرت تحققه. ممكن تكلمنا عن تجربتك ديت، ازاي قدرت تحفز اللعيبه دي، وازاي قدرت تسيطر عليهم، وازاي قدرت توصل بيهم للهدف اللي انت كنت راسمه. كابتن أمونيكي بيقول انا ما جات لي الفرصه ان انا امرن منتخب تنزانيا، الحقيقه طلبت من واحد من المحللين ان هو يجمع لي كل الماتشات بتاعه منتخب تنزانيا، خاصه في التصفيات اللي قبلها اللي كانت مؤهله لكاس العالم. وبيقول وقت الاعلان عني كمدرب ده كان عامل يعني شيء من ارتباك للوسط الكروي التنزاني، لان الوسط الكروي التنزاني كان منتظر مدرب اوروبي، وفوجئوا ان اللي جاي يدير المنتخب هو مدرب افريقي مش مدرب اوروبي. وكان عندي تحدي هنا ان انا اقنع اللاعبين ان احنا قادرين نوصل للهدف بتاعنا، وبدات في ذلك الصدد يعني ان انا اعتمد على فكره نقد الذات. وهو كابتن أمونيكي بيعلق هنا ان دي مش حاجه وحشه، ان نقد الذات مش معناها ان انت تقول ان انت وحش. نقد الذات ان انت كل فتره تقف مع نفسك وتبدا تحاسب نفسك وتشوف ايه الحاجات الكويسه اللي انت عملتها وايه الحاجات السيئه اللي انت عملتها، وازاي تتفاداها او تتلاشاها او تطورها. هو بيقول ان لاعبين المنتخب التنزاني كانوا بيجوا تحديدا، او معظمهم معظم تشكيل المنتخب بيجي من الفرقتين الاهم في تنزانيا اللي هم سيمبا ويانج افريكانز. وبيقول دي بالنسبه لي كانت حاجه سلبيه، لان اللعيبه دي كانت متعوده طول الوقت ان هم هيلعبوا في المنتخب، هم بيروحوا وقت التجمع بتاع المنتخب بيشاركوا في المباريات، يكسبوا يخسروا ما كانش شيء بيفرق معاهم، لانهم هم عارفين ومتاكدين ان مكانهم في المنتخب محفوظه. فبيقول بدات اوصل لهم فكره ان احنا دوله فيها اكتر من 50 مليون بني ادم، وده معناها ان الاماكن اللي موجوده في المنتخب دي مش محصوره على حضراتكم، في انديه كتيره في الدوري الممتاز فيها لاعبين كتار، واللاعبين دول من حقهم فرصه. وبدانا نشتغل على فكره نقد الذات، بدانا نتبنى الاسلوب دوت، ان احنا طول الوقت بندور اخطائنا ايه، ازاي نقدر نصلحها، ونشوف الحاجه الكويسه عندنا ونشتغل عليها. فبيقول مثلا ان واحد من الاخطاء اللي كانت متكرره ان انا بشوف لما الكوره بتتقطع مننا اللعيبه بتقف تتفرج على الكوره، وبعض اللعيبه التانيين بيجروا ورا الكوره بشكل مش منظم او مش مرسوم قبل كده في التدريب. وده اللي بدانا نشتغل عليه، بدانا نشتغل على الحاجات البسيطه دي وندور نفسنا شيئا فشيئا لحد ما قدرنا نوصل ان احنا نحقق النتيجه اللي احنا كنا عايزينها.
Thank you, Emmanuel. We have so many comments and questions people want to ask you, but we just between me and you, we have like 7 minutes. 2 more questions that between me and you before we go to the questions. The first question, you mentioned something very important: data. Not all of the coaches today, even some of the big coaches, believe in using data. And I'm sure I'm very much aware of your experience with Chorastat and the analysts that you were working with, so that you were working with during your tournament at the AFCON. I mean, how important is data to you? And, you know, selecting your squad, opponents. How much do you rely on this?
Well, I think it's very, very important in modern football now. You know, data afford you to have direct feedback, because these are actions that are going on, but with data, they are keeping it. And after you have direct feedback, it's not probably maybe after the game, you say, okay, boys, can anyone tell me how we played yesterday? No. You automatically, you have all the information. You can see the level of performance individually to collective. You can even see the mistakes in terms of offensive and defensive. You can see how the goals are being scored against you. So I think it is very, very important today in modern football, even in Europe, all the big clubs that have big resources, you know, they have all these kind of tools available to them. I could remember in the World Cup in Russia, I remember the game in St. Petersburg against, that was Belgium against England. You could see some guys at the media section from the English team and Belgian team, they are giving direct information to the coach, what is really happening directly from the data that they are collecting as the game is going on. So I think it is very, very important, and is key for any coach in modern football. If you want to succeed, you must be able to involve yourself in this kind of information. And also, we shouldn't forget, most of these players, they are exposed to these tools. They are exposed to a lot of different way of coaching and playing. For example, most of the internationals, like the Egyptian professionals that are playing in England or are playing in other leagues, they are exposed in this kind of environment in working with data where they can be corrected, where the coach can have a meeting one-on-one with them to correct their mistake, or to even not only correcting your mistake, to even tell the players, to motivate the players, to tell the players, look, this is what you are doing, this thing is good, this thing is good. So I think it is very, very important in modern football today that the coaches, should deal with such a thing. I know in Africa, it's a little bit challenging for us due to the environment, due to the ideal situation where we find ourselves. But I think any coach that find the privilege to deal with such an equipment or such a company, for example, I personally am privileged to have having contact with Cora Start, and I could say a very big thanks to them, because today we qualify in Tanzania, but the formations they are giving to me concerning my opponent, concerning my own team, and sharing information with my team, I think it really helps me to be in a position, and also to give me an insight how football is going, and also to prepare me for more activities and in the future.
Very good.
السؤال كان موجه لمستر أمونيكي، بيتكلم عن التدريب وعلاقته أو ارتباطه بالبيانات، وقد إيه مستر أمونيكي مقتنع بالاعتماد على البيانات أو باستخدام البيانات في العملية التدريبية، خصوصا إن إحنا عارفين إن عنده تجربة مع شركة كورا ستاتس في هذا الصدد يعني. فالحقيقه كابتن أمونيكي بيقول في الكره الحديثه ما عادش رفاهيه خالص، الاستغناء عن البيانات ده ما عادش شيء حد مقتنع بيه. كل الناس بتعتمد على البيانات وبتستخدمها بشكل مكثف جدا، سواء في تطوير اللاعبين او في اداره المباريات. هو بيتكلم ان كان عنده تجربه في كاس العالم في روسيا، بيتكلم عن مباراه محدده كانت مباراه بلجيكا وانجلترا. بيقول انا شفت في المنطقه الخاصه بالاعلاميين كان في فريق عمل محللين لكلا الفريقين بلجيكا وانجلترا، وكانوا بيوالوا الدكه على طول اول باول بالمعلومات والبيانات اللي تقدر تساعد المدرب في اتخاذ القرارات. هو كمان بيقول ان معظم اللاعبين المصريين المحترفين في الدوري الانجليزي او الدوريات المختلفه اكيد اشتغلوا في الاجواء ديت، وعارفين ان محللين البيانات او محللين الاداء الموجودين جوه الفرق بيساعدوهم ان هم يوروهم اخطائهم ويشتغلوا معاهم على تصحيح الاخطاء ديت، وكمان يشتغلوا على نقاط القوه ويطوروها. لسه في افريقيا عندنا مشكله في الاعتماد على استخدام البيانات. وانا الحقيقه تجربتي مع مزود البيانات، مع كورة ستاتس كمزود بيانات، فرقت معايا بشكل كبير جدا، لان الناس كانت بتديني معلومات عن الفرقه اللي هلعبها قبل ما العبها بشكل كافي، فبقدر اجهز فرقتي، وكانوا بيدوني معلومات بعد الماتش اللي بلعبه عن فرقتي، فبقدر اعرف مدى استجابه فرقتي او مدى تطبيق فرقتي للتعليمات اللي انا قلتها لهم.
Okay, very good, Emmanuel. I mean, we should have like 2-3 hours with you, but unfortunately we are almost running out of time right now. I just have one more question to ask you. You played abroad. You've seen a lot of coaches in Africa and outside of Africa, in Europe and wherever. Why don't we have enough African coaches working in Europe, for example, just the way we have a lot of European coaches that are working in Africa? I would like to hear your idea about this. And just one last thing is that we have a lot of youngsters right now that want to get into the coaching business and the coaching world. We would love to hear a short message and a piece of advice from you to these youngsters before we start to take some questions.
Well, the first question you raised concerning we Africans not having the opportunity to coach in Europe. I think most of us that played in Europe, I particularly, I played in Europe. I did my coaching course in Europe. Yep. I would have loved to coach in club, and which I know if I'm an European, there is no way I will be coaching in big club there. But are we going to say they are discriminating? No. The reality is that their system prepares their coaches. I was privileged to attend the coaching course in Spain through Spanish Football Federation, and you could see the standard of the courses is very high. Even the exam, for example, in the tactical exam, we have the theoretical exam, and then we have the practical exam. And the practical exam, for example, you have only 20 minutes. You have 10 minutes for writing. You just dip into your hand, you pick an envelope. They can ask you, how can you neutralize a team that plays in 4-4-2 in a zone? So it's up to you to come up to know a team that plays in zone, what does it require? It requires creation of space. It requires movement of the players. You have to write all these things. Then with that, you have to put it into practice. And at the end of the day, practice has to result to ending of a goal. Think, if we in Africa can provide a standard, courses for our coaches, we will be in a position also to maybe have the opportunity to go to Europe to coach. But the belief is that the African coaches or the environment is not to the standard what they have in Europe. So it's very, very difficult. And the Europeans, what are they doing? They are encouraging their people. They are encouraging their coaches. Celades that was coaching in Valencia, it was my teammate. Celades was the coach of the under-17 for almost, if I'm not mistaken, for 4 editions, and he did not qualify. But that does not mean that he's a bad coach, because at that category, what they're looking is development and projection.
Yes.
But we in Africa, when a coach fails in one achievement, automatically we categorically, we wrote him off, we categorize him as a failure. Nobody wants to give him opportunity again. So the terrain where we operated in Africa is not comfortable. And most of our coaches, we have to come up with a course that we prepare them. Like what UEFA is doing now. UEFA, they came up with a program. They have realized that most of the coaching is being done on the field. It's not in the class. But of course, it's good for you to know the theoretical aspect of the coaching, the definition, the factors, but the main coaching is on the field. How do you deal with issues day in, day out, every day? I think what I can say.
And your word of advice to the youngsters. Sorry to interrupt, because we have
my word of advice to the youngsters is because in the coaching industry, the young ones, they are in a haste. They want to become the chief coach immediately. But I think it's always important. Yeah, it's true. I have the experience. So the young ones, they want to become the chief coach after having a course and then immediately they find themselves assisting, the next time is they want to become a coach. But I think it's always advisable to learn. When you
they
learn,
need to have patience and learn.
And it will give you it will prepare you to be in a position in the future. When the time comes for you to be the chief coach, now you are in the position. It's like when you say an athlete can never be crowned except he competes with according to the rules. And for an athlete to compete according to the rules, he has to prepare himself to be in a position when the opportunity comes to compete. So my advice is
patience and learn. Patience and learn.
Patience.
Thank you.
And learning. I think it's important to learn as much as you can, so that when tomorrow comes, you'll be in a position to defend yourself as a chief coach.
Amazing point of advice. We'll hear the quick translation and we'll try and take a couple of questions because we have like 5 more minutes.
طيب اخر سؤال كان معانا النهارده الكابتن أمونيكي. ضياء بيقول له انت لعبت بره وشفت مدربين كبار في افريقيا واوروبا، خليني اسالك سؤال مباشر، ليه ما بنشوفش مدربين افريقيين في اوروبا زي ما بنشوف مدربين اوروبيين في افريقيا؟ عايز وجهة نظرك في النقطه ديت. حاجه تانية، لو عندك نصيحه تقولها معانا، شباب كتير نفسهم يدخلوا مجال التدريب، عندك نصيحه ليهم تقول لهم ايه؟ ايمانويل بيقول وحصلت على شهاداتي في التدريب من هناك. مش هقول لك ان هم عندهم نوع من التمييز، بس خلينا نقول ان النظام هناك بيساعد المدرب الاوروبي او المدرب الوطني. انا عايز اقول لك ان الاختبارات هناك، اختبارات الشهادات هناك عمليه جدا. انت مثلا ممكن تسحب مظروف، المظروف ده بيقول لك انت بتلاعب فرقه بتلعب 4-4-2، محتاج تعمل ايه علشان تفرض سيطرتك على الفرقه عشان تحيد اداء الفرقه دي. فانت محتاج تتكلم بسرعه، محتاج تكتب تقول ان مثلا طريقه 4-4-2 محتاجه خلق مساحات بطريقه معينه، محتاجه تحركات طوليه وعرضيه بشكل معين. فتخيل ده شكل الامتحان اللي هم بيحاولوا يأهلوا بيه المدربين بتوعهم. خليني اقول لك ان سالاديز اللي درب شباب فالنسيا كان زميلي في الملعب وما قدرش يتأهل ل5 سنين متتاليه. فده مش معناه ان هو مدرب وحش، ده معناه ان هو محتاج يتطور وهم فاهمين كده كويس. نصيحتي للشباب الحقيقه اللي انا بشوفه ان معظم الشباب اللي عايزين يخشوا مجال التدريب عندهم استعجال، عايزين في يوم وليله يبقوا مديرين فنيين مسؤولين عن فرق. هم لازم يعرفوا ان هم محتاجين يتعلموا كتير، والتدريب ما ينفعش نصنفه ان هو علم نظري. التدريب معتمد اكتر على المهارات العمليه وعلى قدره المدرب على حل المشاكل والتواصل مع لاعيبته. فهم لازم يكون عندهم الصبر، لازم يكون عندهم الرغبه في التعلم، ولازم يكون عندهم تقبل فكره ان هم هيطلعوا السلم درجه درجه وحسب مدى اجتهادهم.
Okay, we have 5 more minutes to go. Let's hear a couple of quick questions.
هنبدأ ناخد شوية تعليقات يا جماعة.
I'll give you the translation now. I'll be the translator now, Emmanuel.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
We have Muhammad Osman saying, welcome Emmanuel, and all of the Zamalek fans love you so much. Sabri Srag, hello Emmanuel, nice to see you on our page. You were a great player and you are a very, very good coach.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tamer Siliman, Emmanuel, when will we ever see you as Zamalek head coach? Because we in Zamalek, we still love you, and the Zamalek fans, they love you. So would you ever come and coach the Zamalek team?
Well, thank you very much. I dream also. If we please God and they running the club, if they fit to coach Zamalek, of course, it's my club, and I thank Zamalek always for giving me the opportunity, to come to Egypt, to play in Egypt. Even after many years of playing, people still remembered me. So I think it's the will of God, and I thank all the fans, even the new generation that have never seen me play. Up to today, people still remember me, they love me. So I thank them, and I pray I will be in a position one day, to coach Zamalek and bring joy again to Zamalek.
Inshallah.
كابتن أمونيكي بيقول انا بحلم طبعا ان انا امرن الزمالك ده فريقي. يعني دي كانت منحه من ربنا ان هو يكتب لي ان انا العب لنادي الزمالك بعد كل السنين الطويله ديت. يمكن في اجيال كتير من اللي بيتابعونا النهارده ما شافونيش وانا بلعب بالزمالك، مع كده لسه بيكونوا لي كل الحب وكل التقدير ده. دي حاجه بتفرحني جدا. اتمنى ان انا ربنا يكتب لي في يوم من الايام ان انا امر نادي الزمالك وافرحهم زي ما هم بيفرحوني.
Another question or comment from Yahya Hussein. الزمالك فرق معاك ازاي في مسيرتك الكرويه وازاي انت مرتبط بالزمالك لحد دلوقتي؟ How did your experience with the Zamalek club affect your career, and are you still in contact with anybody from the club right now?
Well, I'm in contact in the sense that mostly with the players that I played with. Before the coronavirus, I was supposed to have a meeting with Captain Ishamiaka. And last time I was privileged to attend the Zamalek TV where Captain Tarek Yahaya was the anchor. So I'm in touch with my generation. Of course, there has been a lot of changes since I left Zamalek.
Yes.
The president, I have a relationship with his son, Amir, but we never seen in a person. But of course, Zamalek, like I said, is my club, and I remain grateful, to them for giving me the opportunity to have come to Egypt to play. And also my playing in Zamalek also, it gives me a lot of opportunity in terms of understanding the game, I mean, from tactical point of view also.
كابتن إيمانويل بيقول الزمالك بيتي هيفضل بيتي. انا طبعا لسه على علاقه ببعض اللاعبين اللي رافقوني في مسيرتي. كان المفروض قبل احداث كورونا كنت هقابل كابتن هشام يكن. قبلها كنت ضيف على قناه الزمالك في ضيافه كابتن طارق يحيى. انا بقول تاني الزمالك ده النادي بتاعي، وانا بكن له كل الحب وكل التقدير للفرصه اللي منحاني ان انا اجي مصر واخد فرصتي ان انا العب ويبقى محطه مهمه في حياتي الاحترافيه.
Emmanuel, we have one more question. I think this will be our final question. Khaled Mohammed Rifat, of course, we all know Khaled Rifat, one of the marketing legends here in Egypt and at the Zamalek Club. Dave Mackay, what does this name mean to you, and what's his influence on your career? And you have 1 minute, Emmanuel, to answer this question.
Come again, I didn't understand the question.
Dave Mackay.
Captain David Mackay.
Yes. What does this name mean to you, and what's his influence on your career? And you have...
Yeah. He influenced a lot. I think that was my first professional coach outside Nigeria. And David Mackay and Captain Farouk Gaffa, they influenced a lot. They helped me during my time here. I came here as a young player. It was new for me, the environment. But of course, they make it easier for me. And also the players. No matter how good you are, you need the players. And the players, they were able to welcome me. So I'm grateful to have, privileged to have played under them and know them.
كابتن ديفيد ماكاي طبعا بيمثل لي مدرسه كبيره انا اتعلمت منها، هو وكابتن فاروق جعفر. اتعلمت منهم كتير على الصعيد التكتيكي والفني في الملعب. انا بستغل الفرصه دي عشان ارسل لهم كل التحيه والاحترام.
Emmanuel, or legend, I really don't know what to say. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I want to thank you so much for this amazing opportunity and the great valuable data that you've given us today. And hopefully we can arrange something else with a bit more time, I feel, because I mean, there's a lot of people that still want to ask some questions, but unfortunately we're limited with the time. We want to thank you. We want to thank everybody for joining the show today, and I hope that we added something different and something new to you. Thank you, Cora Stats. And Emmanuel, 30 seconds to give a bye-bye message.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, Captain. And I know we are in a difficult times, but hopefully by God's grace, we'll overcome this and then come back to football, and we all give thanks to glory. And inshallah, everything will be fine.
Inshallah. Thank you again. Thank you all of our viewers for a wonderful time, and stay safe, everybody. Ramadan Kareem, and Assalamu alaikum.
شكرا جميعا ليكم ولانضمامكم لينا. كابتن إيمانويل بيشكرنا جميعا وبيشكر الفرصه ديت وبيتمنى ان احنا نمر من هذه الازمه بسلام، ورمضان كريم، كل سنه وانتم طيبين.